I was married. I have 2 kids. My mother raised my oldest child. And my baby boy was staying with me and my husband. We separated. And when we separated, my son was 8 years old. I had a choice of moving in the projects or trying to find a house. And I'm going to tell you, I was just broken because the separation did a lot to me. My son wasn't used to not having his own. So I chose to go back home to stay with my mother. And when we got there, the home house, all the rooms was taken except the hallway. And the hallway back in the day is just a little box room. When we got there, she told me that all the bedrooms was taken. So we took the hallway. I had my son's day bed, my microwave, and a small TV. I left everything else in the house. I walked away. And when I got there, every day of life, my baby was asking me, Mama, when are we going to get our house? When are we going to move? Because he left his room, his toys, his TV, his games, everything. He didn't understand what was going on. I was working. I was depressed. I didn't know what to do. This child's worried me to death. He started doing bad in school because he didn't understand what was going on. So this particular night, I was laying on the chair crying. And I asked God to just come into my heart, come into my life, show me the way. Put some people in my path to help me to get back on my feet. And I prayed, I fell on my knees, I prayed, I cried. I confessed my sins. I said, something I'm doing wrong because I don't understand why I can't get ahead. The next morning I woke up, I was a changed person. I gave my life to Christ. The things I used to do, I didn't want to do no more. I just wanted to walk the right way God wanted me to walk. A friend of mine came to me and she told me about Habitat. And I asked her, I said, do you think I will qualify for a house? They called me Puddin', that's my nickname. She said, Puddin', you need to try. I had 1 year to get it straight, not quite a year. I told her, I said, well, okay. So what I did, I got on my knees and I prayed over that application. I put everything on that application was true. And I wrote a letter explaining to them my situation. And too much debt, and they felt as though I wouldn't have enough money to make my house payment. I have to pay that debt off. I got on the phone, I made calls. I called everybody who was anybody that I knew, asking for a job. I ended up with 3 jobs. The one I had, one after I left there, and taking care of a lady on the weekend, the whole weekend. And I worked and I paid that bill. I paid that bill. Their meeting was October the 18th, selection meeting. When they got to my application, I had paid all of that $7,000 off except $48. I was paying it every week. Every week I was paying that bill, plus my other bills. So I kept praying and praying and praying. And it was just like God spoke to me and said, don't worry, you're going to get a house. Something inside of me said, don't worry. Well, another lady qualified for the house. And she did something wrong. And they disqualified her. And that's how I got the house. And by me paying that money off, and I qualified otherwise, and all I owed was $48, that's what landed me in this house.
What made you different?
I'm going to be honest with you. My faith is very, very, very strong in God.
But was it as strong before?
It wasn't. What turned me around I saw my life just going down the drain. I couldn't understand why things was happening to me, and I couldn't get on my feet. And that night on that couch, I prayed, and I said, it's got to be something that I'm doing wrong. And I knew the environment I was in, it wasn't of God. I know how God works, and I know the right way from the wrong way. That morning, when I got up, because I confessed my sins to the Lord, and I asked Him to show me the way, and I wanted to do what was right, walk His way, do His will, I was a changed person. Things I was used to doing, I would get insulted if somebody brings something up to me, and I didn't understand, but my pastor explained it to me. And I started moving forward, going to church, believing in God, doing what was right, and doors started opening. They started opening for me. Mr. Allen got the wash and dry for me. I went to yard sales. I'm not ashamed of it. I got me a kitchen table. A friend of mine, a good friend, Miss Peg Brady, she let me have a couch. Well, she sold it to me dirt cheap to help me. And my church gave me a bed. The bed was a single bed, you know, just a full-size bed. But the mattress was queen size. I told my son, that's all right. We do what we have to do until we can get on our feet. I got Clorox and stuff, and I washed that bed down. I disinfected every night that I went to bed. When I woke up, I was underneath that mattress.
So, what does your house mean?
It means everything to me. It means having something of your own. It makes you feel independent and know that you get out and you work for something. And one day it's going to be yours. It means everything in the world to me. And it makes me thrive even more to know what I'm blessed with. And it will be mine in a couple of years.
So you've had this home for how long?
13 years, and the 10th of January 10th of next year, this house will be paid for.